Hi, I'm Leanne Yenny, and I'm going to be your instructor this semester for Methods 5 through 8 Mathematics. And I just wanted to give you a quick little overview because I'm not able to be here today. I am actually in San Diego at the Joint Mathematics Conference. I'm with another professor here at MSU, and we are presenting on the Math to Excite Girls Math Camp, which promotes math excitement for girls in the middle grades. So maybe I'll talk to you more about that sometime this semester. But what I just wanted to do is just give you a brief overview of what you can expect this semester in this course and just kind of get the ball rolling so that we're ready to roll a little bit more face-to-face on Tuesday. All right, so first of all, let me just talk about the objectives for the course. First of all, you're going to be involved in practicing kind of some professional decision making. And we're going to be working on that through a lot of reflection that comes from observations, reflection that comes from readings, and reflection that comes from a lot of class discussions. You'll be demonstrating some middle school best practices. So not only will you be learning about those best practices, but you'll also get a chance to demonstrate some of those because you'll be doing some collaborating on learning activities and actually getting to create some lessons and teach them to students. You'll be participating in some educational research. Of course, this course is a research course, so that's why there was a lab component to the course. We're not going to stick to the lab times. We will stick to the face-to-face, what's called a lecture, on your schedule times, which is every Tuesday and Thursday from 4:10 to 5:25. But the lab times will take place at various times throughout the semester, and it'll actually take place in the middle school environment. So we'll be looking at different schedules that will work for you, and that's how we're going to conduct the educational research component. A lot of that will take place through observations. You'll be doing some student interviews, but you'll also get a chance to do some teaching of a collaborative project that you'll be working on with your peers. And then lastly, you'll get to engage in a professional learning community. So our class of 16 is going to become a professional learning community in one sense or another. And we'll also be involved with some local teachers. So some local teachers will come in and serve as guests on panel discussions, and then we'll also be working with those local teachers in their classrooms, asking them questions, doing some observations of their own teaching, and then also getting to teach their students and have their feedback. So I try to look at that whole thing as our professional learning community. All right, so let's talk a little bit about kind of the objectives more specifically in terms of kind of the learning goals. So the National Board of Professional Teaching Standards is something that you may or may not have heard of. The National Board, some teachers become nationally board certified. I'm nationally board certified in early adolescent mathematics. And it's just a program that really supports teacher excellence. And what I like about the National Board of Professional Teaching Standards is that they have 5 core propositions, which are sort of guiding principles for all teachers. And what we're going to do is we're going to structure this course around these 5 guiding principles. So everything we do is going to fall within one of these. So for example, proposition number 1 is that teachers are committed to students and their learning. And so underneath that proposition, we're going to talk in our class about differentiation and how that looks in the middle school environment. We'll talk about learning. We'll talk about equity. And we'll talk about things that are beyond academics. The piece about teachers being committed to students as the whole student, not just the academic student. Okay, proposition number 2, teachers know the subjects that they teach and how to teach the subjects to students. So not only do you have to know how to teach math, not only do you have to know how to know math yourself, you also have to know how to teach math. So we'll be talking about that connection. Not every person that's good at math is good at teaching math, and vice versa. So specifically in this course, though, we'll be talking about proportional reasoning. And the reason for that is that's really the meat of middle school math curriculum, proportional reasoning. So a lot of the contents focus for us will be in that strand. We'll also be talking about what specialized knowledge is for math teachers. And then also that leads kind of to understanding multiple paths to knowledge, how to explain a concept in multiple different ways to students. Proposition number 3, teachers are responsible for managing and monitoring student learning. So we'll talk about that and how it really applies to the middle school environment, especially with learning groups, how those look in the middle school, how that can become a best practice, how to really encourage student engagement, and how you can use assessments as a progress check. And then Proposition 4, teachers think systematically about their practice and they learn from experience. And so in this semester, you're going to be making some difficult choices. You're going to be researching a topic, for example, during a span of a couple weeks, and then you'll be debating that topic with some of your peers in the class. So you'll be kind of undergoing some of those difficult choices that teachers have to make on a daily basis and really trying to figure out where do you stand and where is your philosophy of teaching, especially when it applies to the middle school environment. Also, teachers in this category seek advice, and so I'm hoping that you seek advice from other teachers that you're working with, but also your peers. And then you'll also be practicing some educational research, which for us, like I said, a lot will take place in the schools, but a lot of that will also take place through some professional readings that we will do and discuss in class. Lastly, number 5, teachers are members of learning communities. And like I mentioned before, we are going to become a learning community. You and your peers, with me, and with the other teachers in our larger community. So we'll talk about collaboration and what that looks like, what real collaboration among teachers looks like, and then what real collaboration among students looks like. We'll talk about working with parents. We'll be having a guest speaker come in and really focus on that topic, especially from an administrative perspective. We'll talk about using community resources and how to bring those into your classroom. And also just what professionalism means is a big part of this course as well. All right, so next I want to talk about my expectations of you. So they're pretty simple and straightforward. And we'll talk more about this when we kind of set up our own learning community and our own classroom community next week. But first of all, I just want to talk about being present. And being present doesn't just mean that you come to class on a regular basis. It also means that when you're in class, you're engaged. So that's supposed to be a picture of a cell phone that obviously I'd like you to turn those off or have them put away. Unless we're using them, of course, as a learning tool, or unless there's a specific reason that you need to have it out. So besides being present, I want you to engage with each other. And that means that you're having the difficult discussions with one another, that you're learning from each other, that you're seeking each other's point of view and advice. And I want you to engage not just with each other, but also with me and with the teachers that we're going to be working with. I want you to challenge your thinking. You might be coming into this class already with a mindset about what you think good teaching looks like, or with a mindset of what you think middle school teaching is all about. And I really want you to challenge your thinking during this course. And by the end of the semester, have a little bit of a better grasp of what your philosophy and what your personal teaching style is like. And then lastly, I expect you to have professional behavior. This, of course, is a 400 level course, and I think of it as training for your professional career. All right, lastly, I just want to talk about week 1, since, of course, I'm sorry that I'm not here on the first day. I'm actually, like I said, I'm in San Diego, but I will be back Tuesday. So let's just talk about the topic for this week. We'll visit this, of course, on Tuesday, but I also want you to be thinking about it now. So our topic for this first week is just the unique characteristics of a middle school and, of course, middle school students. So with that, you're going to be doing 3 things. First, you're going to write to me via email. I want to know about your educational goals. I want to know if you remember anything about middle school and maybe talk about that a little bit. If you have any specific unique needs that I need to know about as your instructor, I want you to please tell me that. And then anything else that you think that I should know about you and your unique situation. And you can just email those to me through D2L, would be fine. Secondly, for your assignment, you're going to listen to a podcast on NPR, and it's a segment about middle school, and it's pretty interesting, and I hope that you enjoy just sitting at your computer and listening to that, and you'll get the link on D2L for our course. And then lastly, you're going to read in your course textbook, which is the middle grades mathematics textbook. Hopefully you've purchased that already, and I'll put the specific pages, because you're not going to read a whole chunk, you're going to read little parts, and I'll put the specific pages on D2L. Okay, so that's it. If you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to email me. I will be checking my email on a regular basis. And like I said, I will be back on Tuesday. Thank you to Liz and Danielle for being here. And make sure that you get the syllabus from them before you leave. And I'll see you Tuesday. Thanks.